Rebecca of Sunnybrook Farm, Part 5. The child's face was radiant for a moment, but the glow faded just as quickly as she said, "I forgot. My mother put me inside, and maybe she would want me to be there when I got to Aunt Mirandy's. I wouldn't have to be jumping down and my clothes fly up, but you could open the door, and I step down like a lady passenger. Would you please stop a minute, Mr. Cobb, and let me move inside?" The stage driver gladly pulled up his horses, lifted the excited little girl down, opened the door, and helped her in. "We have had a great trip," he said, "and we have gotten well acquainted, haven't we? You won't forget about Milltown, will you?" "Never," she explained. "And are you sure you won't either?" "Never," vowed Mr. Cobb solemnly, as the stage rumbled down the village street between the green maple trees. Those who looked from their windows saw a little child sitting on the back seat. Had they been close enough, they might have seen, when the stage passed beside the yard of the old brick house, the beating heart beneath, pumping the red color into two pale cheeks, and a mist of tears swimming in two dark eyes. Rebecca's journey had ended. "There is the stage turning toward the Sawyer house," said Mrs. Parkins to her husband. "That must be the niece from Temperance. It seems they wrote a Urilla and invited Rebecca. She will be good company for our Emma Jane. She is fine-looking. They say that one of the Randellas married a Spanish woman. She was teaching music and language at a boarding school. It's a fact that the town people, having called them Sawyer girls since Miranda was 18, Jane at 12, and Urilla at 8. They took part in activities of the village life. Although Miranda and Jane are now between 50 and 60, those in Riverboro still call them the Sawyer girls. They were unmarried, but Urilla, the youngest, said, 'There's worse things than being old maids.'" Mr. Lorenzo di Marcella Randall taught the weekly singing school in several neighboring towns. He played the violin and taught older boys, when they were of age to enter society, the essentials of dance. His hair was a little longer, his hands a little whiter, his shoes a little thinner, his manner a bit more polished than that of his friends. Indeed, the only detail in life which failed was making sufficient money to live upon. Miranda and Jane had ignored Urilla when she was married L.D. M. Randall. The maiden sisters at home wrote to Urilla 2 or 3 times a year, and sent modest but serviceable presents to the children at Christmas, but refused to assist L.D.M. with the regular expenses of the rapidly growing family. His last investment, made shortly before the birth of Miranda, was a small farm 2 miles from Temperance. Urilla managed this herself, and so it was her home at last.